short and sweet with the events that Lorraine and myself and what we've attended over the last 5 events that we've been to. And 19th on Sunday, Lorraine and myself attended the installation at Southall for the new Dean, Dr. Stephen Evans, as the Dean of Southall. It was a very long event, and it was very interesting as well. On the Sunday, the 3rd of May, we attended the Scouts Big Weekend and were invited to that event. And again, it was really interesting and to see what they were doing over that weekend. And Lorraine and myself really enjoyed that. We did find the car when we got back and made sure we could get out the place. It was a long queue as well. So my chauffeur, the wife, she drove us out and got us there home. Myself and Lorraine again during the week on the Thursday, the opening of Shape Wellness Clinic, which was on Rushcliffe Road, and we managed to arrive at the correct time and enjoyed the evening with them. We also attended the following week the Nottinghamshire County Show on Saturday the 9th, which was an absolutely excellent day with a nice sunshine until we actually got to the car when it started raining. And the last one that we will be doing is in June. The last thing I'm doing for my charity will be Friday the 5th, and it will be my last event when Lorraine and myself will be running a charity race night at Keyworth Tavern at the event, and it will be starting at 7:30 with a chip cob in the middle of the evening, and it should be a really good event to raise some more funds for the charity. Thank you. I'm thanking the Deputy Mayor. Thank you, Richard, for being a help. Well, sometimes he did help. Members and officers as well for supporting during the year, and Mayor to identify highlights and success of the charity. Mayor to thank the chaplain, Father Tom as well. Thank you, Father Tom. And I have something to pass to him. If you'd like to come forward. Thank you, Tom. Pass my wife. I'd like to say thank you for all the work that you've done, still doing, the Richard Foundation event. So for driving me around. I thought about to say that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know. Sit down, please. You like to come? Item 5, Councillor Clark to make a vote of thanks. Thank you, Neil.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Mayor, and it gives me great pleasure to propose a vote of thanks for your year of office as Mayor of this borough. And you continue a long line of successful mayors who have been an excellent ambassador for the Borough Council and for carrying out all your various duties in the communities and in the borough. So I thank you very much indeed for that. You've done some excellent work in helping support the Richard Whitehead charity, and I know he has been extremely grateful of your support and your work on his behalf. I have had a look through the album of your events, or a record of your events. There are many here, but just to name just a few varied events. You've been sailing on narrowboats. You've been raising and I know you had a great day in Proms in the Park, which is always a fantastic event in Bridgewood Park, supporting all the many stalls and watching the acts, etc. in the park. You've been reopening leisure centres, and indeed I know you've even been your charity. Switching on Christmas lights and making money for Richard's charity. And all that time that's been going on, as you have mentioned, ably supported by your wife, Lorraine, who has done an amazing job supporting you in all that you have been doing. And I just realised I didn't even mention that the Hickling Scarecrow is festival where you were chauffeured. You talk about chauffeuring by Lorraine. You were chauffeured around in a Willys Jeep for the day while you surveyed all the scarecrows. So I know you enjoyed that as well. So just on behalf of the council, thank you very much indeed for all you have done in your year of office. I'm going to present you first of all with the album, which I'll then also your the mayor is holding up a photograph with a skeleton in the middle, which he is asking if that's him. I hope not. I don't think it is. That's the mayor. Also, the past mayor's badge of office, which you can now wear with pride. And then finally, in order to go in the gallery outside is the portrait that will be displayed in the gallery, along with all the other mayors. And we're now at over 50 years of mayors that are in that gallery, which is brilliant. So congratulations. Thank you very much indeed. Okay.
Say that again. Thank you, Councillor.
Thank you.
Councillor Jem Walker, would you like to speak? Thank you.
On behalf of the Labour Group, I want to thank Councillor John Cotty for his service as Mayor of Rushcliffe for the past year. John has carried out his role with dignity and commitment, and I thank him for that. While we've sat on different sides of the chamber, we often take different political views. Our group acknowledges your dedication to public service and the people of Rushcliffe. In opposition, our job is to challenge, to scrutinise, and offer an alternative direction for this borough. But civic office matters. And it's right that we recognise the commitment that Councillor Cotty has shown in representing Rushcliffe over the year. We also want to welcome Councillor Richard Butler as new Mayor of Rushcliffe, as he takes on the role that I hope will be a strong, fair voice for every part of our borough and all the people of Rushcliffe. We will continue to disagree where we must, speak up for the communities we represent, but tonight is also about respecting service and the democratic traditions of this council. So we thank John for the year as Mayor and wish Richard every success in the future.
Thank you, Jen. Councillor Edavine, would you like to speak?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd just like to say well done for your year as Mayor, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Well, I know you have because I've spoken to you about it. And thank you for the service you've given this year.
Thank you. Councillor Mallinder, would you like to speak?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, I too our group would also like to say thank you for your year of service. It's been very eventful, and very impressed with your work that you've been doing for your charity. We do usually go on the Richard Whitehead runs, which are quite often take place at Home Pierpont, and we certainly ran the Lady Bay Christmas tree 10k with him, but unfortunately your particular year we happened to be on holiday, so I'm so sorry we didn't run with you and him this last year, but we certainly will continue to do so. And thank you very much for all you've done.
Thank you. Councillor Birch, would you like to speak?
Yes, just very briefly, we'd like to thank you for your service and wish you well for the future. Thank you.
Would any other councillor like to speak? Councillor Billy.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On behalf of Leek Independents, we'd like to extend a hearty thank you for your year as Mayor. It's been a tremendous year for particularly your charity. It's one that actually quite did my heart, for disabled people. We'd also like to thank you for hosting the Eastleigh Community Care Group when they received the award. And thank you for the tea.
Thank you very much. Item 6, election of Mayor. To consider nominations for the election of the Mayor of the Borough of Rushcliffe for the 2026 and 27 civic year. Item 6, to invite nominations for the office of Mayor of the Borough of Rushcliffe for 2026 and 27. Do I, Councillor Barney, to move the proposal that the Councillor Butler be elected and make a speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I also would like to express my personal thanks to you, dear friend, Councillor John Cotty, for your stewardship of Mayor in the last 12 months, and also to you, Lorraine. Great job, well done. And thank you for your service to the people of Keyworth over many generations. But I rise this evening, and I have to say it's a great privilege and pleasure to nominate Councillor Richard Butler to serve as the next Mayor of Rushcliffe. Richard has long demonstrated the very qualities that this office demands: integrity, commitment, compassion, and a genuine dedication to public service. Throughout his decades as a councillor, he has shown unwavering commitment to the residents of Rushcliffe, always placing community at the heart of everything that he does. What distinguishes Richard is not only his experience, but the manner in which he serves. He listens carefully, he works collaboratively, and approaches every challenge with thoughtfulness and always good humour. Richard has, I believe, earned the respects of colleagues across the chamber and the trust of the communities that he represents. Rushcliffe is fortunate, in my view, to have individuals willing to devote their time and energy to civic life, and Richard exemplifies the very best of that tradition. He understands the importance of bringing people together, supporting local organisations, championing volunteers, and representing our borough with dignity and with pride. Now, conversely, Richard, I believe, is also fortunate to have Rushcliffe. You see, he's a Rushcliffe chap through and through. He loves this place. He has lived in the borough since the age of 4, growing up in Ruddington and Stanton on the Wolds. He moved to Cotgrave in 1990, and indeed he still lives in Cotgrave. After school and college, he started his working life in retail, working for significant national companies, and by the late 1980s, he was working in the world of advertising and marketing. In 1989, he joined the then very well-read and popular Nottingham Evening Post, where he worked with the advertising team, presenting local and national campaigns. He thrived at the excitement of being at the very heart of the collaborative team, all pulling together every day to produce a daily paper, and in those days, of course, without the use of the internet. With changes in the newspaper industry, in the mid-1990s, he joined the then Greater Nottingham Training and Enterprise Council, where he worked with local and national training providers to promote work-based learning for young people as an alternative to university, and also for older people looking for or needing to change careers. It was about this time that he started to take an interest in local politics, and he joined Cotgrave Town Council in 1999. And yes, you guessed it, he's still a member there today. Now, Richard is not an overbearing political animal. I think we can all agree that he's far, far, far too nice for that. But he could see that there was so much potential for Cotgrave. And having been asked if he would consider standing as a candidate in 2001 for Nottinghamshire County Council elections, he went ahead and he won. And guess what? He's still active on that council 25 years on. In 2003, he stood for Rushcliffe Borough Council as one of the Cotgrave members, and once again, the good folks of Cotgrave chose Richard as their representative. And you guessed it, here he is. Or should I say, there he is. He's in the room with us as evidence of that. He's become a member of almost every committee at both the County Council and Borough Councils, including in recent years acting as the chairman of Rushcliffe's Planning Committee. Likewise, at the County Council, he has been through the ranks of many committees and served as a cabinet member. In 2024 to 25, I personally experienced Richard's exemplary and a unifying chairmanship of Nottinghamshire County Council. He has a great love of the countryside, wildlife and nature, and is partial to a little pottering in the garden. He loves music of all kinds, and his music tastes can most certainly be described as varied. He's also obsessional about 1960s Cold War era fiction and films. Definitely not a geek though. Don't have anyone tell you Richard's a geek. And that's of course most clearly demonstrated by his passion and love for the world's most impressive car. Richard's half-century addiction to what he describes as the greatest car that ever existed. Yes, the very humble but the most brilliant DAF Variomatic. And as Richard nobly demonstrates, he's the proud owner of not one but 2 of these magnificent vehicles which run on rubber bands. And it would be remiss of me not to mention, of course, that he is the editor of the internationally renowned Belt Drive magazine, which December issues didn't do so well on. So if anybody wants a copy, I've got a few boxes of them back in the car. But tonight, Richard, you are following in highly commendable footsteps. Indeed, you are not the first butler, are you, to serve as Mayor of Rushcliffe? And I've broken protocol this evening and probably will be arrested on the spot. But I thought it was right that your father, who has hung for many years on the wall behind, should be in the room with us this evening. Because Roy Butler served as Mayor of Rushcliffe, Richard's dad, from the year 2000 to the year 2001. And I'm sure he would be so proud of you tonight. As Mayor, just like your father before you, I know that you, Richard, will be an outstanding ambassador for Rushcliffe. You will carry out the role with distinction, warmth and dedication, and you will uphold the proud traditions of this council, will continue to foster a strong sense of community across the borough. Again, I'd personally like to thank the outgoing Mayor, but it's my great joy and pride to nominate you, Councillor Richard Butler, as the incoming Mayor of the Borough of Rushcliffe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Barney. Do I have a second? Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, and congratulations on having a wonderful year. I am supporting Richard Butler for Mayor of Rushcliffe. As has been said by Councillor Matt Barney, very eloquently, may I say, Richard has been a councillor for Cotgrave for many years, but unfortunately I've been 4 years longer than him, so that makes me feel even older, having just had a birthday on Tuesday. Anyway, he has worked hard for Cotgrave ever since getting on that town council. So sorry. He's always liked to meet people and also help and support those who need it, including throughout the years the councillors. He has been very supportive of councillors on both sides. He has a sunny disposition, and I mean that seriously, and always seems to see the good in people, even me. I'm sure he will be an excellent mayor, as chairman of the council, as leader of it, and first citizen of the borough. He is fair and just in all things. I also happen to like him as a person, with a sense of humour, which will stand him in good stead for the job ahead, I feel. Anyway, I therefore wish to second him for the job and position of the Mayor of Rushcliffe. Thank you, Richard, for standing.
Thank you, Councillor Mason. Are there any further nominations? All in favour that Councillor Butler be elected Mayor of the Borough of Rushcliffe for 2026 to 27? I declare that Councillor Butler. Oh, I don't know.
Let's go to the vote first.
Yeah.
Let people vote first.
Well, I'm trying to move it on.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yes. Hang on to your chain of office just as long as you can.
I'm trying to. All those in favour for Councillor Butler to be elected Mayor of Borough of Rushcliffe? That's carried. I declare that Councillor Butler has been elected as the Mayor of the Borough of Rushcliffe for 2026-27.
Yes, we like voting. Actually, they're optional.
Mr. Mayor, if you would please read aloud the declaration of acceptance of the office by I, Councillor Richard Langton Butler, having been elected to the office of Mayor of Rushcliffe Borough Council, declare that I take that office upon myself, duly and faithfully, of its best of my judgment. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and as proper officer of the council, the declaration was made and signed before. We need to do head and head just for that. So. Mr. Mayor, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues. Thank you very much indeed this evening. And I'd like to especially thank Councillors Barney and Mason for their very kind words. It was really very kind and funny as well, maybe blush. It's an honour to have been chosen as Mayor of Rushcliffe this year, and it means a lot to me. And as you've heard, my dad was a mayor in the 2000-2001 year, civic year, so that is also very much a thought in my mind to do the best that I can this year. I hope to attend events and occasions around the borough, which truly is a great place to live and to be a part of. I'd like to thank our outgoing Mayor, Councillor Cotty, for his year, and it's been a pleasure to be his deputy. I'd like also to welcome the Reverend Paul Massey, Rector of All Saints Church in Cochrane, for agreeing to be my chaplain. Paul has some experience of this because he was my chaplain when I was chairman at Nottinghamshire County Council, and indeed Paul has reminded me that he was a chaplain for our former colleague Brian Tansley when he was mayor. I will of course be raising money for charity, and you may already have spotted a hint as to which a charity is, or what the charity is. Guide dogs. Most of us take our senses for granted, including our sight, as we live our lives day to day, perhaps rushing here and there. As you go out and about on your everyday business or socialise, think how different your life would be if you couldn't see or had partial sight. You might just want to shut yourself away. Thousands of people are born with or suffer gradual or sudden sight loss. Guide dogs provide a lifeline for them, and I marvel at what the dogs can do for people. Training a guide dog is a very special skill, and of course it needs a lot of money, both during the training and throughout the time that the dog is looking after and guiding its owner. And if you haven't spotted a dog, we have a guide dog with us this evening. I don't know his name, but we have the guide dog with us, which is fantastic. So I very much hope to play a part in helping guide dogs to continue their incredible work. And with your support, I'm sure we will do a good job. It's a wonderful cause. And we can start tonight, because if you haven't spotted them yet, there are forms to sign to sponsor our colleague, Councillor Andy Brown. Where's Andy? Councillor Andy Brown, who is planning to do a 24-hour bus tour on the 1st of August, using solely his bus pass, which he's only recently acquired. Well, actually, he's had it a few years, but so Andy is going to be very, very busy that day. And knowing Andy, he is likely to cover a considerable distance. He's taking this very, very seriously. And I know that for the last few weeks, Andy has been looking at timetables and maps, and he's fantastic. So he's doing that on the 1st of August. And what's more, being a cutting edge council and being in the 21st century, it's going to be very, very high tech, because he will be tracked every part of his journey. He will have a little tracking device with him, and we'll all be able to tune into the internet, and assuming it doesn't crash, we'll be able to tune into the web and see where Andy is going. So that's something to look forward to, and thank you, Andy, for volunteering to do that. And Andy's efforts will be the first of hopefully several events throughout the year that I, and hopefully as many of us as possible, will be involved with to do the fundraising for guide dogs. And also, serious side of things to one side for a moment with regards to the guide dogs. Who could possibly not love the dogs? So I look forward very much to your support and also working with our friends from Guide Dogs. On a slightly more serious note, just for a moment, I hope that our council meeting, at our council meetings, we can all work together and remember that we are here for our residents who simply want us to be there for them and conduct council business in the way that they would expect. So thank you again, colleagues, and also to my guests for coming this evening. It is really wonderful for you to take time out and come to a council meeting. I'm sure you'd probably be rather doing other things on a Thursday night, but here we are at a meeting of Rushcliffe Borough Council, and it means a great deal to me to have my friends here. And also, if I may, just thank as well people who may well be tuned in to the Rushcliffe Borough Council YouTube channel. I speaking to other friends who can't be here tonight, I believe they will be watching online, both in this country and even as far away as Australia. So thank you to them. Thank you, colleagues. And let's hope between us all we have a great year. I look forward to it. Thank you. So we move on to item 7 on the agenda, which is the election of a deputy mayor for 2026 to 27. And we need to consider nominations for the office of deputy mayor. And I would like to invite nominations for the office of deputy mayor for the borough 2026-27. And Councillor Brown, I believe you would like to make a proposal. So Councillor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. May I first congratulate you on your inauguration and wish you the very best in your year as mayor. I have the pleasure of nominating Councillor Hector Perec as deputy mayor. Councillor Perec's journey into public life is deeply rooted not in politics but in people, service and community.
Born and raised in Mumbai, Hetby moved to the UK in 2006 to complete her master's degree in social work, a profession she chose because she wanted to make a genuine difference in people's lives. At the time, the plan was always to return home to Mumbai afterwards. In fact, Hetby had been on the verge of establishing her own NGO for children in Mumbai and only intended to gain some professional experience in the UK before returning to India. But Mr. Mayor, fate had other plans. Hetby met the man who would become her husband, fell in love, got married, and eventually made the UK her home. Compared to the vibrant energy of Mumbai, Nottingham felt very quiet and unfamiliar. However, at her core, Hetby has always been a people person. She quickly immersed herself into local community life, volunteering, organising cultural and community events across the county. Alongside this, Hetby continued working as a social worker, a career that strengthened her compassion, resilience and understanding of the challenges faced by vulnerable individuals and families. Mr. Bear, she also spent time as a part-time radio presenter with a regional radio station, using her communication skills and fluent command of 4 languages. Politics was never originally part of Hetby's plan. Her work in the community, however, caught the attention of former leader of Rushcliffe Borough Council, Simon Robinson, and Simon encouraged her to enter politics. She initially said no, but eventually agreed to stand on one condition: that she would always stay true to herself and remain focused on serving residents and advocating for them. Those who know her would say she has done exactly that. Mr. Mayor, Councillor Hetby Parekh will make an excellent Deputy Mayor, which I hope you will all agree, and I'm proud, Mr. Mayor, in nominating her as your Deputy for 2026-27. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Brown. Do I have a seconder, please? I think Councillor Gordon Wheeler.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before I start, congratulations to you on this hearing. Having seen you in action in the County Council, I can say sorry with folks, but that's the best County Council chairman you've ever come across. He was fabulous, honest, honesty, integrity, shine through, marvelous, and I'm sure it'll be exactly the same here. Thank you also, John, for the work you've done for the last 12 months. Huge congratulations. I stand to take the nomination for Councillor Bray. She's petrified I'm going to say it now. No, she didn't be. Who can forget in 2020 when the COVID pandemic struck? We've all got stories, I'm sure. Hetby fully supported frontline workers, vulnerable residents, struggling families, homeless, and much, much more. Through her leadership at Seaward Day, Nottingham, and the founding of Rushcliffe Food Bank, which I know Hetby puts a huge amount of work into, Hetby coordinated volunteers and community groups to deliver food parcels, meals, toiletries, wellbeing support, and emergency aid to thousands of people across Nottinghamshire. What began as emergency support during the pandemic evolved into a lasting movement of community service. Hetby continued volunteering. Long after lockdown ended, expanding food bank services and working closely with charities, schools, faith groups, local organisations and residents to tackle food poverty and hardship across the region. One initiative particularly close to Hetby's heart is the annual Christmas shoebox appeal, which she has helped lead for over 6 years. Having been into our house one just before culmination of that particular event, shoeboxes everywhere in the house, so I've seen it firsthand. So I know exactly how much effort's gone into that, Hetby. Every year, more than 1,000 shoeboxes are filled with gifts, essential toys, and treats, and are collected and distributed to children, families, elderly residents, and vulnerable people who might otherwise have absolutely nothing on Christmas Day. And also, we know, Hetby and I, Borough Council, but Walton Ward. I value her friendship and particularly enjoy, as she knows only too well, winding up as often as I possibly can. I still have the scars on that, Mr. Chairman. But seriously, it is a great pleasure, as I said earlier on, second the nomination of Hetby to be elected Deputy Mayor for Rushcliffe Borough Council. And I hope you have a fabulous year. I'm sure you will support Richard in everything we both do together. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Wheeler. Do we have any further nominations for the office of Deputy Mayor for 2026-27? No, we don't. So I need to declare that all. Oh, sorry, made my first mistake already. I skipped a line on my running order, so apologies for that. So we need a vote to take a vote on this. All in favour that Councillor Parek be elected Deputy Mayor of the Borough of Rushcliffe for 2026-27. Thank you, and I think that's unanimous. For the record, anyone against? No, and no abstentions. Right, so I declare that Councillor Parek has been elected as the Deputy Mayor of the Borough of Rushcliffe for 2026 to 2027, and I'd like to invite Councillor Parek up to the top table here. Thank you.
Would kindly read out loud and then sign the declaration of acceptance of office.
I, Councillor Rushcliffe Borough, having been elected to the office of Deputy Mayor of Rushcliffe Borough Council, declare that I take that office myself and will duly and faithfully fulfill the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and
I can declare that was read out and signed in front of me as proper officer of the. Congratulations.
Do you want to say a few words?
Yes, thank you, Andy and Gordon, for your very kind words. It's a real honor to stand here tonight. Richard, many congratulations on your election of mayor. I'm proud to serve alongside you today as Deputy Mayor, and I look forward to learning from your experience, wisdom, and dedication as we work together for the people of Rushcliffe. I would also like to sincerely thank my colleagues for placing their trust in me. I assure you that I take this responsibility seriously, and I will work every day to serve this borough with commitment, compassion, and respect. Tonight is especially meaningful to me because I'm proud to become the first person of Indian descent, one of the youngest and amongst the few women to hold this role of Deputy Mayor in a borough with over 52 years of history. I hope this moment reflects a council that is open, inclusive, and truly representative of the communities it serves. And yes, at 4'11", I may also be the shortest deputy mayor Rushcliffe has ever had. On a personal note, I want to thank my husband, my constant support and greatest champion, for patiently enduring years of council stories, late night debates and rants, and understand local government policies and procedures more than anyone else should reasonably have to. I'm also incredibly proud to be a mom to my 10-year-old twins, who keep me grounded and remind me every day why community matters so much.
I'm deeply grateful for the blessings of God and my parents, whose sacrifices, values, and unwavering support made this journey possible. At my heart, my passion has always been community service, bringing people together, listening with empathy, and making sure every voice matters. As Deputy Mayor, I'll continue to dedicate myself to supporting our communities, championing local causes, and serving the people of Rushcliffe with openness, kindness, and determination. Thank you.
Thank you, Hetby, and congratulations. And I do look forward to working with you this year. So well done. And we'll have a busy year ahead of us, and it'll be great. So we now move on to item 8 on the agenda, which is leaders' announcements. So, Councillor Clark.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Mayor. And first of all, may I congratulate you on your election as Mayor, and I wish you every success, and indeed congratulate the Deputy Mayor, and I hope that you have all the success as a team together for the forthcoming year. So congratulations. I do have several items actually I want to highlight, Mr. Mayor. First of all, the East Midlands Councils hold what is called a tri-sector challenge across the whole of the East Midlands, and this relates to recognising outstanding success, securing the working alongside other organisations, and that's both in the private sector and in the public sector. So this particular award related to the Best Team Award, alongside further recognition for leadership, communications and team behaviours. So this particular challenge is for aspiring officers to demonstrate their potential management skills for the future. So I'm very proud to say that the team, which consisted of Sebastian Saw, Mike Holder, Ian Harley, Rhiannon Berry, Sophie Melvin and Claudia Bowering, were successful in winning the best team in this particular challenge. So they did demonstrate collaboration, professionalism and resilience in competing against these other organisations around the East Midlands. And indeed, not only did they win the team award, but also Sebastian Saw, who took on the role of can you be a mock chief executive? Or anyway, the leader of the team for this particular challenge, he was successful in also getting the award for team leader. And indeed, in all the categories, Rushcliffe Borough Council were either runner-up or winner. So I've mentioned the two winners, and the council, that this particular council team was runner-up in all the other categories as well. So fantastic, congratulations to them. I also would like to make mention of the Great Central Railway, the Transport Heritage Museum at Ruddington, because I was very pleased and proud to have been able to facilitate a visit by the East Midlands Mayor Claire Ward. The Heritage Museum had been trying to get her to visit without success, and I'm very pleased I was able to facilitate that visit, and we welcomed her last week to the Heritage Museum, where in fact the Flying Scotsman and the Tornado are actually operating there at the moment and will be until the end of next week. So a little bit of a commercial, if I may, Mr. Mayor. Anybody who would like to go and see the Flying Scotsman and the Tornado and all the other fantastic things that go on at the Heritage Museum, then please go along and visit. But the point of that visit was in order to encourage the Mayor to support the additional investment in the railway, and also to encourage the additional promotion of an excellent tourism venue for the East Midlands. So there was a point to the visit to increase that promotion. Oh, just talking about promotion, that was a great link, Mr. Mayor, talking about promotion. I know we talk about Nottingham Forest quite a bit, but Notts County are in line or endeavouring to be promoted. So I just want to wish them every luck in next week when they have their playoff final at Wembley. On a more serious note, Mr. Mayor, I would just like also to make mention and take a moment to note the recent tragic events in Golders Green, which have contributed to the government raising the national terrorism threat level from substantial to severe. In addition to expressing our thoughts with all the victims of such attacks, I would also like to urge everyone to remain vigilant. And the point of mentioning this is because that terrorism threat has been raised from substantial to severe. And it is vital that all communities in Rushcliffe should feel safe, and we will continue to do all we can to ensure that Rushcliffe remains a great place for everyone. I'd also report to Council, Mr. Mayor, that I did attend UK Reef in Leeds yesterday, and I was on a panel with the East Midlands Mayor where we were talking about promoting tourism in the East Midlands area, but obviously I was there in particular as ambassador for Rushcliffe. UK Reef is a national exhibition venue and conference which encompasses investment and infrastructure in the UK. And so it was important that we were there flying the flag for Rushcliffe, and I'm very pleased that we had a very successful event, and I shared the platform not only with East Midlands Mayor but also with the chairman of Nottingham Forest and the chief exec of the Trent Bridge cricket ground as well. So that was very successful. Finally, Mr. Mayor, on 2 points of staff, and regrettably 2 members of staff that are leaving our employment, unfortunately, because they will certainly be missed. Firstly, Sarah Pragan, who is currently our monitoring officer, and she has suffered some health challenges recently, but having overcome those, and I'm pleased for her that she has secured a deputy monitoring officer post in the county council, but obviously not so pleased that she's leaving us, because she will certainly be missed. But I would like to thank her very much for the support that she has given to this council, to members, to the cabinet, and all the things that monitoring officers do and it's a very important part of the work of the council. So sad to see her go, but many best wishes for her success in the future. And then the other person is Leanne Ashmore, who is sitting in the corner there, and she is our deputy director, encompassing all sorts of things like planning and economic growth, and so on and so forth. And Leanne has been with the council many years, and she is, again, sadly for us, but obviously great for her, she is taking on a new role, leading the estates section at Nottingham Trent University. But what she has done for us is she's been leading on lots of big projects, master plans, local plan, all sorts of big projects, and things that don't often get seen by members, where she has been working very diligently on behalf of the council. She has been a great asset for this council, and I do wish her every success in her future role. But again, it's sad for us that she is leaving, but I wish her every success for the future. And with that, that's it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Clark. A very comprehensive report, and also I would also wish to pass on my thanks and appreciation for your work to Leanne and Sarah. Do any other councillors wish to make any comments at this stage? No. Okay, so I'll move on to item 9, which is the Chief Executive announcements.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll keep this short, but it would be remiss of me not also just to echo a little bit of that thanks. Being Chief Executive, you rely heavily on the team around you, and I've been blessed since me joining the authority to have both Sarah Pragon and Leanne as part of my executive team. I will be sad to see them go, but I'm always pleased, and part of my role is also to encourage and make sure that people go on to bigger and better things, and that reputation of Rushcliffe moves forward into wherever people go, and that will be a legacy that will last. Just in terms of Leanne as well, she is not only a director but also deputy chief exec, and again, as chief exec, having that support around me has been key. And as the leader says, in terms of the number of projects, that the legacy for Rushcliffe that Leanne has been involved in, she should be very proud of, both now and in the future, that the communities of Rushcliffe will benefit from. So my personal thanks to both Sarah and to Leanne. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Chief Executive. Any comments or questions from members? No. Okay, thank you. So we now move on to item 10 on the agenda, which is the appointment of committees and member groups for 2026 to 27. And Councillor Clark, would you move the report, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And as you've said, item 10 is on page 15, and the appointments of committees and member groups are set out in the appendices, starting from page 17. I would just merely move the recommendation that those nominations, as set out in the appendix, be approved. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Clark. And Councillor Brennan, do you wish to second the report?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll second the report.
Thank you. And do we have any speakers from colleagues? No. Okay. So, right. Okay. So no other speakers. So, Councillor Brennan, you reserve your right to speak. Do you wish to add anything?
I didn't, Mr. Mayor, but no, I'm fine, thank you.
We'll move on. And Councillor Clark, you have a right to reply. Would you like to reply?
Shall we vote?
So for the record, need a show of hands. All those in favour, please show. Thank you. Anyone against? One against. And any abstentions? No. Okay, so I declare that the motion is carried. Move on to item 11 now, which is the approval of the timetable of meetings for 2026 to 27. And Councillor Clark again, if you'd move the report, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As set out on page 33, item 11, the timetable of meetings for this forthcoming year are set out there in the appendix, and I'll move that they be approved. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Clark. And Councillor Brennan, do you wish to second?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll second the report.
Thank you. I was listening to you that time, so thank you for that. And do we have any councillors wishing to speak on this item? No. And so no speakers on this. So Councillor Brennan has spoken. And Councillor Clark, do you wish to? Well, there's nothing to add, is there really? So we better go to the vote on this. So show of hands, please. All in favour. I think that's unanimous. Anyone against? No, and so no abstentions. So that is the motion is carried. Right, now we move on to item 12, which is the appointment of representatives of outside bodies for 2026 to 27. And I have to report an update to the report in relation to number 10, the Rural Community Action for Nottinghamshire, RCAN. RCAN has informed the council that it no longer has local authority representatives sitting on its board of directors. There will therefore be no appointment to this group. So any colleagues who are bursting, wishing to be on that group, I'm afraid you'll be sadly disappointed. Right, but there we are. That's their decision. But we do have two contested appointments for the following outside bodies. Firstly, item 5 on the agenda, the Nottingham East Midlands Airport Independent Consultative Committee, which has 1 seat, but we have 2 nominations. And we also have item number 11, which is the Friends of Rushcliffe Country Park, which has 1 seat to fill, but we have 2 nominations. So, Councillor Clark, I think you wish to come in on this.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just I'm going to present the paper and move the paper. But yes, as you quite rightly say, there is one basically deletion of item and then 2 contested items. So with a slight alteration to the recommendations, because one of the recommendations, C, becomes obsolete for the reasons that you have already described relating to RCAN, or Rural Community Action for Nottinghamshire. Therefore, with your permission, with the exception of the 2 items that you have mentioned, 5 and 11, then I will move the recommendations A, B and D, not C, because that's no longer relevant. So the ones that are not contested, if I move those, and then if you are able to just take a vote en bloc for the uncontested ones, and then obviously you will conduct the vote for the 2 contested items. But with that, I'll move those recommendations. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Clark. So, Councillor Brennan, do you wish to second the report?
Yes, I second it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I reserve the right to speak.
Thank you, Councillor Brennan. Do any councillors wish to speak on this item? No. So what we can do is, Councillor, yes, Councillor Brennan, you reserve your right. No, you reserve your right to speak. Do you wish to come back on this? Problem.
Not at this stage.
Okay. And we now go to Councillor Clark, and then we will go into a block vote, as you suggested. In fact, we'll do that now, I think. So we'll have the suggestion that, as Councillor Clark and Councillor Brennan have moved, that we vote on block for items A, B and D. Can I have a show of hands in favour of that, please?
Everything is not.
Yeah, can't do D.
That's right. So to clarify, these are the uncontested seats on the outside bodies. We need to have a vote in favour of those for the record, please. So show of hands of those, please. These are the uncontested positions. So is that all in favour? Nice and clear, please. Yeah. Okay, that's unanimous. Thank you. We had no one against and no abstentions, so I will declare that the block vote, the uncontested positions are confirmed. So we do need to go on to a vote now for the East Midlands Airport Independent Consultative Committee. And I will ask each of you, everyone, to vote for 1 candidate in turn. And remember, you only have 1 vote. And the nominations for this outside body are Councillors Calvert and Councillor Edivine. So first of all, can I have a show of hands for those in favour of Councillor Calvert, please? And a show of hands for those in favour of Councillor Eddie Bean, please show. Thank you. Thank you. And so I will declare that Councillor Edivine has been appointed to the East Midlands Consultative Outside Body. So thank you for that. We now move on to the vote for the Friends of Rushcliffe Country Park. And again, I'll ask you to vote for each candidate in turn. And remember, you only have one vote. And the nominations here are Councillors Gaunt and Councillors Wells. So can I have a show of hands in favour of those, in favour of Councillor Gaunt, please? And show of hands for those in favour of Councillor Wells. Thank you. So the votes was Councillor Gaunt 17, Councillor Wells 24. So I will declare that Councillor Wells is elected to the Friends of Rushcliffe Country Park. So thank you for that. Yes, I'll just need to wait just a moment for item 13. So we move on to item 13, which is the approval of monitoring officer designation. And Councillor Clark, I think you're moving this.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm referring to the late addendum that was circulated that relates to agenda item 13, appointment to the monitoring officer role. As you will see from the report, this relates to the potential appointment to act as the council monitoring officer until an actual substantive role is placed. You'll note particularly that paragraph 4.2 refers and reports the fact that a competitive and rigorous recruitment process, and I suppose I should highlight, just to be clear, that this does relate to the item that I had in my announcements where Sarah Pragan is leaving the authority. She was designated in May 2024, but she is now leaving the authority, which has prompted this recruitment process. But as the report says, that following a competitive and rigorous recruitment process, we were unable to appoint to that role of Assistant Director Law, Governance and HR. So that means that the process has to be gone through again. But it is important that there is a designated officer in place to carry out the role of monitoring officer. And as you can see from the report, Charlotte Cavan-Attack it is a current employee and a long-standing employee of this council and has many years experience of the democratic process and full knowledge of the constitution and other committee and legal matters that this council undertakes. And therefore, in order to be able to carry on with that continuity in the interim, whilst the recruitment process is carried out by the chief executive, then it's important we have that extra role. And therefore, as per the recommendation that's set out in paragraph 2, it is recommended, and I move that Charlotte Cavan-Attack be appointed and designated as the council's monitoring officer from the 15th of June, which is when Sarah Pragan officially leaves the employment of this council until the substantive role is recruited to. So I'm happy to move that recommendation. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Clark. And Councillor Brennan, would you like to second the?
Yes, I'm happy to second it, Mr. Mayor, and reserve my right to speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Do any members wish to speak on this item? No. Okay, we're happy with that. Then, so Councillor Brennan, you reserve your right to speak.
Nothing further to add then, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
And Councillor Clark, do you wish to make any other comments?
Again, nothing further to add, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. So we come to a vote on this. I'd like a show of hands, please, for all in favour of the recommendation. Please show. Thank you. And anyone against? No. And any abstentions? No abstentions. So I declare that that motion is carried, and we'll just wait for Charlotte to come back and join us. So welcome back, Charlotte. It's a good thing you didn't go too far, isn't it? Many congratulations on your new position. So thank you, and thank you for your support and work as well. Appreciate it. So that, colleagues and ladies and gentlemen, is the final item on tonight's agenda. I'd like to thank again members of the public in particular for being with us this evening, both in the chamber here and also on the internet and online. We now, so I will draw the meeting to a close. I would just remind colleagues that we now have to do a little bit of housekeeping. So once we've departed, if everyone could go into the hall and foyer area through there while we prepare the room for the next part of the evening. So thank you very much, and I declare the meeting closed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.